YouTube chat. So if there are any questions, I'll paste in the chat. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you're audible.
Amay, we can initiate recording.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
Yeah, we can start.
Welcome to Joomla Next January 2023. We are in the 14th episode of Joomla Next. Joomla Next is a virtual event series initiated by Techjoomla to open up a new world of possibilities through insightful sessions from thought leaders of Joomla. We aim to create a platform that connects Joomla enthusiasts to share best practices, ideas, and insights to build websites and powerful online applications with Joomla. We started this with the launch of Joomla 4.0 in the month of August 2021, and it's been an amazing journey so far. We have made it a regular event series where we discuss some insightful topics related to Joomla. Today, we are in the 14th edition of Joomla Next. We are fortunate to have leaders and domains experts across different corners of the globe, like Brian Patrick, Phil, Tim, Laura, Peter, Robbie, to name a few. More than 20 speakers from different corners of the globe have shared knowledge with the Joomla community. Today, we have Carlos Cámara from Hepta Technology joining us from Spain. He is using Joomla since it was Mambo, so now it's almost more than 20 years, and is also an active volunteer in the Joomla community. Apart from this, he is also running a Joomla podcast in Spanish as well as mastermindjoomla.com. He is an active member and contributor to the Joomla community. Today's topic is Joomla for developers. In today's session together, we will explore nice features within Joomla to build your custom application. Now, I would like to hand over to Carlos. Thank you. Welcome, Carlos. It's wonderful to have you today. Over to you, Carlos.
Hi, thank you very much. It's really a pleasure, and I'm really honored to be among those great speakers you have been in all these past sessions. And also, I want to thank you for all this Joomla Next thing, because it's awesome to have these videos available and to see and to get the minds to be able to pick the brain of those great minds in the Joomla sphere. So thank you very much for organizing this and for making this happen. Okay, I have prepared a small keynote thing. So let me jump to that and let it play for us. Okay, Joomla for developers. First of all, you made a great introduction about me, but I'm going to do a bit more. I am devoted. I am a really Joomla fan, and also I am a developer. I have been working with PHP, Joomla. I actually develop modules for PrestaShop, plugins for WordPress. Have developed custom applications with Laravel. I have used Vue in my developments. I have developed mobile applications with Flutter. I really love development. So whenever I can, I have the opportunity to learn something new or to develop something new, I just jump into it. I have also, as a developer, I have contributed to most of JEvents add-ons. Also some of easy layouts and other stuff. So I'm really keen to those extensions. And I also develop my own solutions for my clients. And some of them I can publish, and they are at extensions.hepta.es. Okay. I am currently writing a book about Joomla development, and it's going to be released hopefully this summer, maybe at the end of the summer. I'm not sure. I'm trying to speed up the process because it's publishing a book is really a hard work. So, and if you want to contact me or whatever, I'm this 2023. I am pushing my LinkedIn profile, so you may check it and contact me if you want. Okay. Okay, let's see the outline. What we are going to learn today or see today, or what are we going to discuss? This is more or less the idea I have in mind. We are going to see why Joomla is a great application. We'll see some of the features that make it awesome to build your custom apps. And then we explore a couple of nice features that I really love. They have been in Joomla for a long time, some of them, but they are polished and perfectly ready for us in Joomla 4. So it's great to have the opportunity to talk about them. And then I'll give a small receipt of how I build web applications for my customers with Joomla. Because when someone asks you for a solution, they do not care if it is built in Joomla, in WordPress, in Laravel, in whatever. They just want it to work. So you have to choose the right tool for the job. And in my case, most of the times that means Joomla. So why sorry, why choose Joomla to build your web application? Well, first of all, Joomla is very simple to set up. You just need a very common environment in the internet today, which is a LAMP server, so and a bit of Apache, PHP, MySQL, and you can be running your website with Joomla. Joomla have been more or less easy to install since the beginning. So nowadays it's even easier to install. You just need to know the parameters for your database. And if you hire a hosting with cPanel or Plesk, you can even have it built automatically or deployed, installed automatically in your hosting. So Joomla is really, really easy to set up. And once you install Joomla, you have a site up and running. You don't need anything else. Joomla 4 is extremely secure. Joomla 3 was secure. Joomla 4 is even more secure. And what I think it's really important nowadays is that Joomla 4 is built to be accessible. Okay, so you need to, if you need an accessible, I mean, it's not if you need accessibility. Nowadays, everything needs to be accessible. So Joomla has been built to be accessible. We have had really hard discussions in the past about how to make it even more accessible. And we are constantly working on making it better. So it's a good choice if you want to take that aspect into your project. Joomla has a great architecture. Joomla, since the beginning, has been built with the model view controller pattern, and it's been refined in the Joomla framework. And I think now it's in a good state to be a great pattern to follow. In some cases, when you are starting to develop, you are learning to develop, following Joomla standard helps you a lot in understanding the MVC pattern and other patterns that are built into the code. So I think it's a great, it has a great architecture for building your web application. Also, Joomla is very modular. You have like different extensions, you have your component, you have your modules that they are like widgets or small pieces of code that can spice up your page or show information in your page. You have plugins that you can use to modify data on different events of the system or make Joomla do different things according to the event you are triggering. So I think Joomla architecture helps you a lot in that sense. It helps you so much that for I think Joomla is a no code, low code solution out of the box. Nowadays, everyone is trying to get the latest no code solution, but we already had that with Joomla. We don't need to go to other services that owns your data to have a low code solution or a no code solution. Joomla is already built up with that, but you have the ability to modify that, and that's why it's a great tool for developers, because let's be honest, developers are lazy by nature. So we want to do the most with the minimum effort. So Joomla is perfect for that because most of the solutions or the implementation are already there. And last thing, this week I read I got it came into my inbox this piece of news that Forbes Advisory had declared Joomla the best CMS for new developers. So Forbes Advisor, sorry. So I think it's a good thing because if you may think, oh well, this is a paid publication. No, Joomla has not paid for being on this list. And if you see the list of partners, which is here in the advertiser disclosure, you will see that there is no Joomla there, and Joomla has no power, no economic power to be a partner of Forbes. So this is an award or a nomination that has been done by its own means. So it's great to know that for business, Joomla is very valuable. So I think we are good to see what features we have out of the box in Joomla. Okay, this is just a small list. We have many more, especially since Joomla 4 added some extra features to this list. But let's focus on the ones I think are more relevant nowadays, or for me are the more relevant. First of all, you have multilingual support. You can install as many languages as you want in Joomla. There are official packages, but you can create your own package for Joomla and have your own language. And you can make it so that your developments use those multilingual support. In Joomla, we have user management, so you do not need to program how the user is going to log in or how to create the user in your web application, because that's already built in and it's very flexible and you can accommodate it to your needs. Also, with this user management, you have access control levels, which means that you can set up permissions for your users. You can create groups for to categorize your different user types, and then you can set them to do specific actions. So you don't need to develop that on your own. Joomla has a menu systems and a content management system, so you can save the time of creating all that stuff that is not probably part of your application, but it's like the legal legal content and the privacy policy and all that stuff. You really need to have it on your web application nowadays. Well, in Joomla, you already have that implemented, so you don't need to create a specific parts of your application for that. It's already built. And with the menu system, which is also very flexible, and that comes to some problems if you have ever worked with Joomla URLs, but it's also that's the consequence of being so flexible. So you have a very flexible system that if you know how to use, it's very powerful too. in Europe, it's well, I think in the whole world, privacy right now is at stake. So we really need to focus on privacy and allow our users privacy management. And Joomla made a great effort to build a privacy suite that you have installed out of the box. So you just need to configure it for your needs, and that's all. You're good to go. And you don't need to build that in your application. So it's a good thing, especially since in one of the next Joomla releases, we'll also have cookies management support and other stuff that it's going to make it great. So I think it's a good choice to have Joomla right now. Right now, we can use, in any case, third-party extensions. That's also a good thing about Joomla. You can install third-party extensions, and you have great third-party extensions to make your web application more powerful. For instance, one thing you may want to do when you start developing your web application is to have a periodic or regular backups, just in case something gets wrong or you need to go back to a previous change. There are some nice backup extensions, and it comes to my mind Akiba backup. So I cannot tell otherwise. So it's great to have those third-party extensions, and it makes your application more powerful. More things. Have you ever tried the smart search in Joomla 4? It's awesome. It's like having a paid search system there, and you can have it in Joomla out of the box, and you can customize it. Well, that we'll come to that later. Well, with the content management, we also have categorization with tags and categories, so we can choose which is our thing for our extension. And that is not only for the content in Joomla articles. You can add categorization, or you can add Joomla categories to your extension so that you use Joomla categories out of the box. You don't need to program categories for your extension, okay? Your extension can have custom fields, which are built in Joomla, and custom fields are really nice because on the one hand, you can have custom fields for your articles and build your application just with Joomla articles. Remember the low code, no code solution I mentioned in the previous slide? Well, this would be like the perfect user case for these custom fields. You can create anything with them. And you can also add custom fields to your extensions, to your application. So if you are developing an extension for managing tasks or projects, you can add custom fields to those projects so that you can know, you can add the, I don't know, the limit, the top number of hours your project is going to be, or that stuff. You can add those with custom fields. So it's great. You can now in Joomla 4, we have email templates, which is great to offer a really unified solution for regarding the branding system. Also, besides the email templates, we have a template system. So you can have like different styles for different parts of your application. And you don't need to program this. This is already built in, and it's really easy to configure your system to have several templates at the same time. And one thing that I really love in Joomla 4 is the Web Assets Manager, which makes the front-end load to be the minimum possible, and it's really optimized to have a great system and not having, well, you know, in the past when you had like 5 different versions of jQuery on the same page. Well, Web Assets Manager can save you that. Don't use jQuery in 2023. Okay, let's see a bit about Joomla articles, because this is the low code, no code solution I mentioned, and I think it's great to take a look at this. They provide this was in Joomla at the beginning. We had only the articles, but in Joomla 3.7, I think custom fields came to life thanks to DP fields was the original extension. and Alan Moritz offered it to the Joomla core, and it was integrated. So thank you very much, Alan, for that. And it makes Joomla limitless. I don't like using this to build some. According to the application, I don't think this is a good option, because this is very similar, or it gives you the same power that WordPress users have with their custom types. Okay. In Joomla, the philosophy is a bit different, but more or less it's the same. You can have like articles that show specific fields, and then like you can create custom things. Let me show you an example we did here in Spain. Okay, my mouse is completely. Don't tell Joomla trademark team about this domain, because it's currently doesn't have the approval thing, so I don't tell them. Well, this is a Spanish site, a site we built in Spain to promote Joomla itself. It has no ads, it had nothing. Its only focus is to promote Joomla. And we created a couple of nice things just using custom fields. And it's the Joomla showcase, where people can send us their sites, okay? And they have it's very simple. It's not like a big deal. And also we have the professionals directory, where people can send. Let me go here to my listing, where we can have different tags, we can have the URL, we can have whatever you want. Also, it's very likely, I have not checked it, but you also have the templates Joomla, I think it is. No. Okay, anyway, no. There are lots of sites using these features already, and it's great because it allows you to create directories really easily. You just need to use Joomla articles to define your fields, and you're good to go. And you can extend it with modules and plugins. For instance, well, I mentioned earlier, I have worked in Easy Layout, so it's no surprise that they recommend using it when you want a low code, no code solution, because it makes it really easy to create your different layouts for different fields. And it's great. Okay, we can build those things. Why I don't like it for every solution? Because it allows you to use Joomla as a CCK, but it's not really a CCK. And things like, for instance, the search and other stuff can be less optimum than building your own solution. Anyway, it's great for creating a prototype, and it's also great for creating directories that are not that intensive in the data you show. Okay. There are also more possibilities that you can use with Joomla articles. One thing, I found this great article about creating a event calendar with Joomla articles. Okay, it's in Spanish. Sorry for that, but I have not found the translation. It's from 2014, but you can still use the idea and most of the code you see here. You just need to change the references to use namespaces, and you're good to go. And with this solution, you can have a list of events just using Joomla and Joomla articles. You don't need to install a different extension for this. It's okay. I mean, there is no iCal syndication or that kind of stuff. It's just showing the events, but it's great to have this option if you don't need to have extra stuff. You can create directories, and another nice Another nice solution is using the Joomla forms, Joomla contact form to create a contact form. Joomla contacts to create a contact form. For instance, in my website, the contact form is built using Joomla contacts. You create a contact, you allow sending messages to that contact, and you can even add different fields for privacy or for whatever in this contact form. I need to add the privacy settings to this contact form, by the way. Anyway, so Joomla out of the box is great. It's a low code, no code solution that works. But what happens when you want a bit else? Well, that's where these features can help you a lot. Okay. One feature I really love is Joomla forms. They have been here since Joomla 1.6. It was one of the great features of Joomla 1.6, but I still love them. And I love it because it offers a really simple solution for a complex problem, that is managing forms in a website. You know, a website form is how you communicate with your users. So you need to have a great UX. It's like your face in front of your user, in front of your customer, in front of your visitor. So you need to have a great face and to make it really easy, because if your customer has a question or needs some clarification to fill up the form, he's probably not going to fill it, and you are maybe losing a customer or some business option or whatever. So it's nice to have a great form. In Joomla, having this the possibility of using these forms to create custom stuff is really awesome. And I have here a small demo I wanted to show. And it's here in this it's a Joomla site with no many options. And to showcase the forms, I'm going to go to the configuration, which is not filling, and I'm going to add the config file. Well, that's another thing. In Joomla, you can have a config file easily. Okay, it's here. It's empty. That's why it's giving an error. And I can copy this text to make it a bit quicker. We are just defining the file set, okay? And now it should work if I'm not, yeah. Here we have our file set, okay? It's just the name of the file set, which is only shown in the code. This is for IDs and reference. And the name we are showing, we are using the multilingual capacities of Joomla. So if you go to the ini files in Joomla, you have here the company data. Field set company data is here. So here it is, our data, okay? So that's only defining the field set. And now we can start adding configuration. We can request or have a field for the company name. We use the name, company name is the name of the field, the type of the field we are going to use, the label, and a small description. And now just adding that form, make it here. And we can save. And we are already done. Everything is set. We have a configuration area for our component, really easy. Just defining a form, an XML file. We have everything we need. We can make some stuff like make this field required. And now if we refresh, it's a required field. If I remove it, it does not allow me to fill the field, an empty field, okay? Great. So let's see what else we can do. If we could only use the text field, it would be a bit problematic because we, as I said, this is our face to the world. So it's better to have more options or to offer a nice UX. So for that, in this official documentation, which I'm constantly checking, you can find all the fields you can add to your forms. Some of them are like very specific. For instance, module layout is probably only going to be used in the module layout. It's not something you may want to your contact form, but it's our module position is like very internal. But many of them are not that bad. For instance, you have a note field, a number field. Let me see what else we have. An email field, okay, that provides an email field. Let's add the email field, okay. Let's add the email field, and let's see what happened with the email field. If we add something that is not an email, automatically everything is checked that this is not an email and you need an email. But if you add a valid email, everything is good, okay? We can make that field required to and other stuff, just adding, and we are good. But we have more or nicer fields. For instance, well, let's focus on this email field. This email field in the basics is just a text field with some validations, okay? Actually, in Joomla, in the forms, we have a telephone field, which is for telephones, okay? And it's very simple to use. If you check it, you will see it's just an alias for a text field with some stuff. But I have noticed it's not as good as I would like. So I usually use it with the text field, okay? Name, company, for layer, description, and I add this extra HTML5 parameters. I add a filter. Well, this is for validation. Let's remove this. We are going to use them later. And if we come here, we have the input field. If we inspect it, we can see, let me make this bigger for you. We can see with our simple XML file, with our simple definition, we have the ID, the class with validation and all the stuff, the type of the field, obviously, the name, already with the control, the form control here, value, if any. We have the area described by data. We have the input mode, we already tell. This is important when you are using a different device to check the website. For instance, a phone. This will show you a phone specific keyboard. Okay, the area value and that stuff. So this is everything that happens with just this this small field definition, which is great, I think. And we can do some stuff like validation easily. For instance, well, right now, if I go to the phone and I try to add anything, it's going to save it. No problem. But I can say, no, listen, you're going to filter this and you're going to allow only int files, int text. So if now let me save it. If now I save, it returns 0 because we are saying, hey, listen, only int is going to be allowed. And then it translates the input to a valid request, okay? We also can define a pattern And this will make it even better, because now when you try to save it, it's going to do validation, and then you have not set it, and you need to add a valid number. And now it's going to work. Well, I will need to change this with tell. I think there is no tell field rule. Well, I remove it. And 5, 5, 7, 8, 5, 5, 9. And now it's here. Okay. Well, if you want to make this valid for int, then we can remove this. I think this works. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, this will work. Okay, and now we have it. No, so okay, now it works. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, so we can keep the int and the pattern. And that's great for the text field. There is one field I want to showcase a little bit, because it's extremely easy and it's extremely powerful, and it's the accessible field. Okay, it's at the beginning of the list, accessible media field. And this field is awesome because it allows you to be even better when developing your applications regarding accessibility. You just need to come to the config file and add the accessible media type, the logo, the name of the field, and that's all. With this, we can have our logo, our company logo. We just need to choose an image from our, and we just have an alt text for adding the alternative text, or if we would say it's a decorative image, which is usually not the case. So you have this and you are good to go. I'm not sure if this is going to be a good enough alt text, but anyway. This is not all. I mean, there is a greater thing that we could use. There is a field that I really love, because it's like extremely powerful, which is the SQL field. With this field, okay, you can create a drop down with data from your database. It doesn't matter where is your database, or I mean, it doesn't matter what component is it, whatever. You just go to the field, you define the type, the name, label, and then with these sentences, you set here the select, you set here the table you are going to check, you set here a where in case you want it, and you define which is the value of the field and which is the name of the option. This is the value of the option. Sorry. This is the value of the option, and this is the name of the option. And with this, sorry, you have here a list from your clients. Okay, well, in this case, I'm checking the table banner clients. Okay, the banner clients is from the banners. And as you can see, I have here these customers. If I add a new customer, when I refresh, I will have 3 clients here. Okay, so it's really powerful. What is even more powerful is I'm sorry, I'm checking this in English. Okay, is the subform field. The subform field is a nice and really clever addition that allows you to use a form you already have or you are created specifically for this, as to use this form as a field of your form. So how can you do that? You just need to create the here there are several ways to do it. The cleanest one is this, which is you define the form source, where you set up the path to your form, and it takes the XML definition from here, or the one I'm going to use here, that is this, where you specifically set the form definition inside the field. Okay, so let's try this, and we are going to use it to add a discounts field for our customers. Okay, let's remove this because we're going to see it. So we are creating this subform, label, description. Let's get rid of this. And we have here our form with the SQL file we just added, the clients, and we have also added a text file for discounts. And now, when you refresh, we have here our subform. This might be useful, but what it is more useful, this field, is when you want to have several options to use. So you can have multiple, set to true, okay? And then when you update, oh, sorry, this is not for, well, this is also another feature I want to showcase, so I will add it now. Anyway, we add feature multiple true to the discounts field, the form, and now we can just choose our client with a discount of 40%. We can add the second client a discount of 20%, and the third client a discount of 50%. Okay, so with this, and we can keep adding clients. Okay, with this, we can create like more specifically or more complex forms easily. It's just adding a form definition, and we have all the JavaScript. We can even reorder the items in case we need it. So it's like really easy to do this. Also, I wanted to showcase the SQL, the multiple. You can use multiple usually in most of the fields, specifically the ones that need some options. And for instance, in the drop-down, it changes to a select box with where you can choose the client you want. Okay. Let me remove this. So this is quite interesting because we haven't programmed anything yet. We have just added an XML field, and we have a form already ready for this. But it's even, we can go even further, and we can create the ACL of our component. This is the access configuration, and it's also a form, an XML form. And to add it to our configuration, as is usually set with Joomla, we just add the field set with the values rules, and we are good to go. Let's see. Save it. We have here now a permissions tab where we can set what can people do in our extensions. Can create, public cannot create, or manager can create. I say it cannot create, and we can deny. And now most of the code in our extension, we respect this, and in other cases, we will need to configure it to respect them specifically. Also, we can add our own rules to this. We can add our rule that says I'm using directly the natural language and not using the string keys, and it's shown correctly. So this will not be translated, but it will always be shown like this. Okay, but yeah, we have this permission, and now we have to program our extension to show it correctly. So let's move a bit further, because I have spent too much time on that. Joomla layouts. It's another great feature that is there, but it's a bit confusing because we have two different things when we refer to layouts in Joomla. I ask Chat GPT, and these are the definitions he shows. On the one end, we have Joomla layouts, which are the layouts. Let me show you, which are these the files included in the here in the TMPL folder. This file will be a Joomla layout, okay, which is basically a PHP file showing things. So, for instance, this is for the control panel, or in these projects, well, you have more complex. We have the form, and we have everything. Okay, this is a Joomla layout. It's a file where you set up how your extension will look. So we go here to components, simple project manager. This is specifically the Joomla layout we were showing. Okay, this file here. Okay, we can add house is here. Okay, so this is the Joomla layout. It's how you show things here. And there is another layout in Joomla, which I usually refer to as J layout. A J layout is a smaller part of code that you can reuse in different parts of your extension. For instance, when you here in this okay, here we are calling the layout helper to render this. Okay, and this is the J layout I'm referring to. So if we go to layouts, Joomla, search tool, default, the render view this default. Okay, it's here. The default PHP file is the J layout, and it's a smaller piece of code which we reuse in different parts of the system. Okay, so it's like completely different. What does it make it so nice? Well, it makes this so nice because, first of all, with Joomla layouts, the one that are showing specifically what we have in the views, you can create different layouts from the same view. So that I'm doing it wrong. Okay, as we are with forms, let me go with forms. The reusable layouts, these J layout things, we can the reusable layouts, one of the nice aspects is with the forms. If we go back to our form, okay, we have here this telephone. Okay, here, company form, here. Okay, nice. We have here the company form, and the company form is a text field. So, and all the fields in Joomla are shown with a J layout. So if we go to layouts, Joomla, form, field, text, here it is. This is what we are showing in Joomla. And we can reuse this in every part. But what happens if we want a different layout for our text field? In this case, the company form. Well, in that case, we just need to specify here the layout we want. I have already created this form field tell layout, and it will make look our form different. What I am saying is, go to the layouts folder And inside that, look for the form folder, field folder, and the tell PHP file. And in our form folder, in our layouts folder for Joomla, the main one, there is no form folder, so it's not here. It will go to the templates system. Will go also to the component layout folder, and it will also go to the HTML layouts folder. Inside the template, we are using Autumn because we are in the backend layouts, and here we have the form, field, tell. And in our tell file, what we are going to do is we are going to show our field, but adding this JavaScript and this style sheet from Twilio. Okay, so if we go to our component and we load it, now we have this nice layout for showing our form. And this is just adding the form, adding the layout to the form where it should look for it, and coding it specifically. Look that, or notice that this text field is not affected by this layout because it's specifically set for this field. Okay, if we want every field to have this tell layout, we will just create an override for the layout and we are good. So we can override things using layouts and show it them in the specific way we want them to be. Also, for the template layouts, the one that are responsible for showing the content of our views, we can have as many as we need, and we can inject different view types in the menus for that. For instance, in our case, we already have one in templates. Cassiopeia. Oh, okay. Yeah, this I wanted to do this with child templates. One nice features we have with child templates with Joomla 4 is child templates. I think it was in Joomla 4.1, where you can go to your templates, edit your Cassiopeia, and click this create child template button. Okay, and with this, if we go to our template folder, we have the Cassiopeia for the this XML file for the template, and this will be exactly our template. We just now need to go to the styles and make it default so that we are using it and we see the changes. We have here a pretty standard Joomla website. Okay, and now we can create some modifications to this. For instance, we can go to the HTML content, we can create all these folders, or we can go, what I usually do, you can go to the file again, you click on create overrides, you click on Joomla content, and we have already created the layouts with the content. Okay, now that's for the layouts. Yeah, sorry. And we can create an override for the content to show the article. And we will see that we have content, article, default links. Okay, what will this do? Well, now if we go to an article, we'll see exactly the same article we have here, but we can fix a couple of things. I don't usually like these details here. I don't like how it's shown. I rather not showing it in any article of my site. You can do this in the configuration of the menu, but I think it's also a good thing to know how to remove it by editing the default list. Well, you just need to go to the to the code, you look for the info text, the info block, and remove it. And once you have removed it, it will be off. Also the tags, for instance. I don't like the tags. I mean, I like the tags, but I don't like them creating links because I have no control on this. And this is very ugly. I don't like the tags to show a link. So I can use the previously created layout override for the tags. Okay. And just rename it. Span. I remove everything here. I get rid of the BTN class. And now my tags are no more links. Are just two minimum, a small show of what you can do with Joomla. I think one of the most powerful features, the forms. But one of the nice things is that you can build whatever you want using components. And this is my recipe when creating a custom web application for my customers. First of all, you install Joomla 4, you configure the ACL, and you take advantage of that, and you create as many permissions as you need. Then you create your site structure using the menus, and you can do that also in the router of your component. And probably your web application will need a lot of database data to store and other stuff. So you develop it as a custom component. There are a couple of nice books already that you can download for free. One is written by Nicholas Dionysopoulos, and it's already in his GitHub, so you can download from there. And the other is by Astrid Gunther, and you can purchase it in Amazon, and also you can read it for free in her website. So it's easy to start developing a custom component. If you wait till the end of summer 2023, you probably will have also my book already to buy. And finally, if you need any plugin, any module to connect to spice up your web application, you can develop it. And if you need a specific style for your site, you just create a child template of Cassiopeia and start developing with that. And that's all I have, or I want you to show. There is much more, but I want it to be just 1 hour. So thank you very much for your time. That's it. Not sure if there
Thanks,
is any
Carlos, for
question.
the
Yeah.
informative session and the numerous possibilities with Joomla forms, Joomla layouts. So we don't have any questions in the live chat for YouTube. So Pooja can conclude. Thank you note. Over to Pooja.
Sure. Thank you, Carlos, for joining Joomla Next and delivering an interesting and insightful session on Joomla for developers. It was a pleasure to host you, and we will look forward to speaking more often with you in these forums.
Thank you very much. It's been my honor to be here. So thank you and have a good one.
So once again, thank you everyone for attending. Thanks to our lovely audience. We really appreciate you all taking time today to hear us. and to be part of our Joomla Next series. Please stay tuned with the social media handles of